Same cartridge, same barrel length, same velocity on the chronograph. $800 difference in price. That's not a mistake. That's the entire .357 lever gun market in one shot. 7 rifles fight for your money in 2026, and most of them are selling you a name while one of them is actually selling you the gun. I spent the last month with all of them, and by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which one deserves your money and which ones are charging rent on their logo. Let's start at the top of the price sheet and work our way down to the winner. The Uberti made 1873, sold under Cimarron and a few other names, is the oldest action in this fight, and it's priced like it invented electricity. $2,300 gets you a case-hardened receiver, an octagonal barrel, and a toggle link mechanism that Winchester itself replaced back when Grover Cleveland was president. The 1892 that came after it handles more pressure, cycles cleaner, and has fewer parts to wear out. That's not opinion. That's 130 years of engineering that already voted. If you shoot cowboy action and the rulebook demands period-correct hardware, buy it. That's a legitimate reason. Buying it as a working .357 rifle is buying a museum piece with a lever on it. Next up, the Smith & Wesson 1854. On paper, this thing should be dominating the segment. Threaded barrel out of the box, M-lock handguard, ghost rings, a flat trigger that honestly feels better than anything else in the category. If you graded these rifles on a feature checklist, S&W wins by a mile. Here's the problem. Independent range reports keep flagging the same complaint. This rifle gets picky about ammo. And a lever gun that argues with your ammo just failed the entire job description. The whole point of this platform is you grab whatever .357 or .38 special is in the drawer, and it runs. At $2,300, sometimes runs isn't a footnote. It's the reason this rifle isn't ranked higher. Great trigger, wrong verdict. Now the Winchester 1892, built by Miroku in Japan. Let me be clear, this is arguably the finest pistol caliber lever action ever made. John Browning designed the action, and every serious clone on this list is copying his homework, including the one that's about to win. The Miroku fit and finish is genuinely excellent, but we're talking about $1,500 for an action you can buy in clone form for half that, shooting the same load through the same length of barrel and getting the same number on the chronograph. Winchester also added a tang safety and a rebounding hammer that Browning never designed in. Features a huge percentage of buyers immediately try to disable. If money isn't a factor and you want the name stamped on the patent, nobody's going to argue with you. But that's a collector's decision, not a value decision. And I know a lot of you in the comments are Winchester loyalists. Go ahead, defend it. I'll read every reply. Fourth spot goes to the Henry Big Boy Steel. Henry has one of the most loyal customer bases in this whole industry, and they earned it. Made in America, smooth right out of the box, and customer service that actually picks up the phone. The .357 Big Boy runs about $900, and it'll outlast most owners. So why isn't it higher? 2 reasons. It's heavy. Brass-framed versions push 7 to 8 pounds before you bolt anything to it, which is a lot of gun for a cartridge this small. And the original tube load design forces you to feed rounds one at a time through the magazine tube like it's 1866. Henry heard the complaints and now offers a side gate version, including in .357. Buy that one. The gun is fine. The old loading system isn't. The Marlin 1894 is where this ranking gets interesting, because the story of this rifle changed twice in the last 20 years. The original JM stamped Connecticut guns were fantastic. Then Remington bought Marlin in 2007, and the internet started calling the output Remlins. Rough actions, crooked sights, stripped screws, and the nickname was deserved. Remington went bankrupt in 2020. Ruger bought Marlin, and the guns coming out of the Mayodan, North Carolina plant right now are, by every honest review I've read, either equal to or better than the old JM guns. Cold hammer forged barrels, no more microgroove rifling, side ejections so you can mount an optic low without an offset rail. At around $950, this is a legitimately excellent rifle. It only loses the top spots because 2 other guns on this list solve problems the Marlin doesn't even try to. Which brings us to the Henry Big Boy X. This is the only rifle on the entire list that was clearly designed for the year we're actually living in. Around $890 gets you a factory-threaded barrel, fiber optic sights, a synthetic stock, and both Picatinny and M-LOK real estate ready to go. No gunsmith visit required. Bolt on a suppressor, load some subsonic 38 special, and you have one of the quietest long guns a civilian can legally own. Because the 38 load is already subsonic before the can even does its job. With the federal transfer tax on suppressors now at zero, this build is finally affordable end to end. Home defense, pest control, backyard practice without the neighbors calling, the Big Boy X does all of it, cheaper than the S&W, the Winchester, and both cowboy clones. It's the smartest rifle on this list. It's just not the best value. That title goes to the cheapest gun in this video. And if you've been paying attention, you already know which one. The Rossi R92. Built in Brazil, priced between $700 and $850 depending on configuration, verified as of mid-2026, though lever gun prices have been climbing all year, so check before you buy. The R92 is a faithful clone of the same Browning 1892 action that justified the $1,500 Winchester at number 5. Same design, same barrel length options, same velocity on the chronograph. Fit and finish? The Miroku is nicer. Some early R92s want a trigger job or a couple hundred rounds of break-in before the action smooths out. That's a real cost, paid once. What it isn't is a performance cost. You are buying roughly 95% of what the Winchester does for closer to half the money. And the 5% you're leaving on the table is entirely cosmetic. For a working rifle, a prepper rifle, or a carbine that shares ammo with a .357 revolver already in your safe, this isn't a close call. Here's the bottom line. Every rifle in this video does almost exactly the same thing to a .357 Magnum cartridge. The barrel decides the ballistics. The receiver just decides how much you paid to get there. 3 of these rifles are charging you for a name. 1 is charging you for the gun. The chronograph already told you which is which. The price tags just haven't caught up yet. Drop a comment and tell me which lever gun is actually in your safe right now. And if you disagree with the winner. I want to hear why. Subscribe if you want the next one, because I'm testing the 30-30 lineup the same way. And one of the sacred cows on that list is about to lose.